Good evening. Just thought I'd pop on, chat rubbish. The squad know I'm about, so sorry for dropping about. There we go. Who's coming on? What's the percent on that tie? Right there we go. Aye, sorry. I should really do all this stuff before I come on to it. I've texts and emails and you know what I mean. Yeah. So, all right, Chris, man, how's it going? So I couldn't believe it. 60,000 people on the page now, man. Bit weird at times, but not weird. I mean, it's just like wow, it's more than a capacity Ibrox, man. So when you look at it like that, it's a bit intimidating. Actually, I'm just eating. It's 10 o'clock, and I realised that. Stacey's coming on. I've got the wrong glasses on for this, man. I'm just messing about. Aye, I've got to get a better background for this. So, I mean, it's exciting times at Rangers now, isn't it? What a weird bipolar mental season. It's all down to bottle now, though, isn't it? There's no other way about it. It's bottle, bottle, bottle. What banner can I put on? Right there, I do that one. Aye, it's all about bottling it, lads and lassies. And have we got it? Have we got it? I hope so. I'm just glad the next game's at Ibrox, but I'm pretty sure the first game after the split will be at Parkhead to stop any the title being decided in our game. That'd be unbelievable. That wouldn't it? Let's be honest, that'd be the perfect ending if we were to beat them at Parkhead and win the league. But the cops won't allow it because you know what that lot will do. That's one thing they've not got on is they've never won the league at Ibrox, whereas we've. Mike McCarthy and what's his name? Mike McCarthy and Tony Pulis podcast is pretty good, man. I they were. It's a different era. Like Tony Pulis telling them they never. He would never listen to doctors and all that. He knew better than them. But no, he didn't say that. But it was more or less what he was saying. But maybe that's why so many people players injured a lot of the time. I don't know, mate. I think it'll be the first game after the split we'll get Celtic because it just takes out any. It gets out the way for the cops to start with, and it's I don't know. Where do we play Hearts in Glasgow or Edinburgh? I've never paid any attention to the split. I've never ever. I don't understand why we do it either. It seems stupid to me. Why not just have a normal 2 aways, 2 homes, and go on with it? It's just that guy. What's it, Neil Doncaster, trying to prove his wage or whatever it is. He's in selling £500,000 a year, and all, man. Frightening. But it'll be interesting. Stacey's coming on in a wee minute, I think. Then I'm getting Edinburgh, right? Cheers, Chris. Aye. That was aye. Sorry, aye. Edinburgh, right? Okay, that's going to be tough. Like no doubt about it. But you go and win, and we win the league. Simple as that. If we beat that, we've got to win every game we play them in Edinburgh. Right? Cheers, matey. Cheers, Graham. Well, you got to do what you got to do. I know you can probably know, but this. Am I right in saying actually? We've got the split. We've got the international break. We play a game, then we're off again for another 2 weeks because of the semi final or something like that. Is that right? Oh, excuse me. I'm not making funny noises here. That's a bit because the break's a good thing at the moment because it gives people time off. Like I said, I know Danny's in where is he? He's in at home and other players are getting time off and all that. They might need it. Mm-hmm. It's I can't stand Gary Neville. Gary Neville is a real bag of poo, should we say. It's, I'm just looking at what he's line up later on YouTube. But it's it's good that thingy, no Falkirk on Sunday. Hang on. I thought we only had one more game left before the split, though. I thought this. How do we know that? Okay, right. All right, Chris. Cheers, Chris. Sorry, just doing these glasses for the 8 millionth time a day. Aye. Right. If I remember right, after the split, there were midweek games as well, so she would have done well before the final. No, but there's a semi-final. It's a semi-final weekend, isn't it? I don't know, man. We'll work out soon enough. I wasn't paying attention today when somebody said it, or I said it on Sky Sports News or something like that. Because I listen to the phone in the morning when I get up and watch the live stream, well, the recorded live stream. I'm getting a warning here, hot days ahead. Get heat warning. Sure, you are all absolutely devastated to hear that. What's it saying to me? 32 tomorrow, 32, sunny, cool. See your humidities though. The humidity's not the best. It's I'm sure you all feel sorry for him. John Gregory, I forgot about him. He was a good manager as well. It's mad how managers that were good back in the day, but are not. They just fade away. But this, people are getting bored of football, aren't they? I know. I outside Rangers. Like, there was games I would normally have sat up for and all that, but now I don't. Even big Man U game, the big games and all that. But like when Ruud Hullet's coming out and Terry Henry's coming out and saying I don't enjoy football anymore, all right, Maggie, it's quite sad, isn't it? But it's just this tippy tappy. Pep's ruined football. He's not ruined football if you're a Man City fan, but I just enjoy it as much anyway. You don't have wingers, you don't have dribbling. I remember watching Sam Allardyce years ago, 5, 6, whatever, and he said, "This Pep football's boring. It's tippy tappy," and I just thought, "You're a dinosaur." He was right. He was right. Yeah. Oh, so John Gregory, I think he ended up out this neck of the woods, didn't he, or something like that? I think there's a footballer for one of the teams around here's just moved in for. You think he's from Wales or something like that? It's snowing. There's Stacey. It's snowing. All right, Stacey, how's it doing? Dog and work again. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, aye.
All right, aye. You dog and work?
Aye, I've just had one of the days. I'm like, do you know what? I'm going for a break.
Aye. But aye, who's that? Who was that? Oh, there's Mr. Ibrahim. How you doing, mate? So, how about you? Have you been busy today?
Aye, it's just been one of the days, though. Just case after case. It's just been a murder. So, aye.
Aye.
Apart from that, aye.
Are you booked up for Phuket yet for that EDC thing?
No, not yet.
I think it's selling out. Like I was selling out. As they sell out quick here. Aye. So no, it's my WhatsApp getting a pop up here. Aye. So I see this flipping international break. It is a pain in the arse, isn't it?
I know. I was just thinking, like, what am I going to do at the weekend? I've actually signed up to do my overtime because.
There we go. Why not? Aye. The thing is, I think if we take it away from us, the players need a break, man. It's not a bad thing, There's a players. I think Danny's in jet. Well, he is. Somebody told me, DM me, send me a picture of his sister, get a selfie with him in Glasgow Airport and all that. So he's They need the downtime, you know. And the signing thing, like, remember somebody said the other day, that's Danny's now, we're now starting with the signings, but that was just Danny's been presented with them. We started that ages ago.
Yeah.
And I think, Stacey, it'll be 22 players or something like that. It'll be a player for every position.
I could see us bringing in a lot in the summer. Like,
Aye.
he did say that obviously the summer is when the most of it will happen, so it's exciting to see. The only thing is, it's going to be that, like, we're going to be linked with everybody in the dug, innit? Silly season will start.
I like it though. I quite enjoy it at times. And it was good to see Gasimite called it for Mauritania. I've actually worked there. It's pretty grim. You know what I mean? It's not got many roads and stuff like that. But we drove into what's next door to Senegal to fly home. But yeah, it was quite poor. And all right, they're not massive, but it puts out quite a few quid on the sell on.
That's it. Every time you get somebody called up, then it's a good thing. But I was quite happy to see that Mikey Moore pulled out the England squad because he doesn't think he's fit enough. So it shows his intent. He wants to keep fit for the running.
I've got to admit, I missed that one. Did you just post it in our group chat? Because now and again I miss the odd.
I think Mad Ali posted it.
There will be. She's on the ball, and Ali's brilliant, man. But and we Tam as well. He's that Scotland shirt's nice, isn't it? That salmon pink thing.
Aye, I've got the pink one. It's nice.
Aye, I mean it's no cheap. Like they're over £100 now and all that for the strips. It's ridiculous, man. It's not right that, especially when World Cup coming up.
One of the mine's is a snide one, but it doesn't look one, so.
Aye. Like I tell you, like when I go, obviously Thailand's famous for the snides and all that. Some of them you can't tell. You know, it looks good, but the material is not. It's not the dry fit stuff. You know, so it's a bit clingy, but it looks the dogs. You know what? It's. I
learned that when I wore it in Australia. I was sweating.
Aye. No, because that's what I'm not. I'm not a strip wearer, but you see me when I do my morning chats. I wear them all the time now, and it is basically just because of the dry fit stuff. You know what I mean? And it's starting to get muggy here, it's starting to get humid. But there's Jamie. All right. What are you doing on here? You're up to? What is there a Celtic fan in here, Maggie? I can't see anyone.
There was one that commented saying that they think Hearts were going to edge it, but he was.
Yeah, I've got him. Oh no, he's gone now. Too late. So I know it's just the Deary. I thought, what about the Deary at the weekend? I thought he was pretty good. Like
do you know what? After you said on the podcast, watch him about how he drags players away. I actually hadn't noticed that 100%. So I did watch that further during the game, and he actually does it really well. So it might be a bit like, who was it last year? Was it? I can't remember. Who was it last year that did that and then started scoring? The Moroccan guy.
Oh, you little twat! You've got me. Him. But But he just needs a goal, and it's the same way we could. I'm not criticising Conor Barron in any way or means, but see if he could just get a goal or two at him, man. That would just be what a player, man.
Do you know what? That's what's missing, and you can tell sometimes he's thinking about the shot, then he doesn't do it. So I think it's having the confidence to actually have a shot.
Have a go. Because I'm firmly in the thing. If you think you can have a shot, have a go for it. If it lands in Rose Ed, who cares, man? Who cares? You know. I know. Ibrox been like, I can't really give out money, but like, I think it's Greg Rosetsky, the ice hockey player. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly. Like, why not?
Perfect. Aye. And Gabby, there we go.
There we go.
Cheers, call. But who's this? This page is filling up now. Arranged to win a league. Hearts second, Motherwell third, fourth. Can you imagine that, man? There's Mr. Loyler. Here's Alan. Afternoon, Alan. How you doing?
Right,
not bad yourself. You right?
Aye. Oh, good. I'm not coming on long, like, because I'm pretty done in, and it's 10:15 my time, so I just thought we'd jump in. Because I get 60,000 followers a day, man. That went through. About this time last night, it went through 60,000, so that was a bit mad, like.
It's amazing. I still say you need to do that. Looking for that backflip on the next 90 minutes before.
No, man, that's funny. That I did that with Grok AI, man. It's but Alan, we're just saying that for us as fans, the international break's a bit, but the players need it. There's no downtime, go home, see families, go for a pint with their mates and all that kind of thing. And they'll be keeping fit anyway, Alan. They'll do this. These guys are fitness fanatic, right? A 5 miler or something like that.
Definitely. It's such a long season now as well. They play like 60, 70 games, and it's good to get a bit of downtime. And when there's guys that are going to be in international duty, so these teams a chance to work with them and get them up to speed, especially ones that are coming back for injury, and maybe ones that aren't quite fit in. So gives them a bit extra time with less pressure on them.
Wayne Gretzky was Wayne Gretzky. Just a time out, and then there was there'll be players that will be staying back to, I don't know, just practice. But it doesn't matter what line I work. Because the one thing I hate is when people say, "Oh, they get paid a fortune." Money doesn't come into it when it comes to stuff like that at all. It doesn't matter at all. Because let's be honest, see when those players run out at Ibrox for the start of a game, the last thing any of us think all game is how much they're paid. Nobody cares.
No, it's about winning at the end of the day. It's only when it's going bad you're like, oh God, you just get paid thousands, get a grip. But
I know. Nah, it's like I said, I'm just messing about with this. No, but Alan, so we were talking about Nadiri before you came on. He's a player, man.
I like him. He's just such a workhorse. He just runs his arse off the whole game. You see him and he makes space for other players. Obviously that it was unlucky that Miovski goal get disallowed, but that was some assist. And then obviously the one for Mikey Moore's goal as well. Yeah, he does a lot of the donkey work that you don't see. But obviously when it comes to strikers, people were kind of focused on goals.
I
think he will score.
Yeah.
I was watching Big Tom, wasn't it Tom doing the interview with Barry Ferguson on the 5 Star podcast. I enjoyed listening to them too. And Barry kind of felt he's maybe trying a bit too hard. But the thing is, while I was watching it, I thought to myself, what do you say to a player? You're trying too hard. But that for me, like, well, where do I draw the line? That's quite a difficult one to handle, I thought. Because I was sitting here and I thought, well, then what does he do? How you know what I'm trying to say, Alan? It's kind of, well, how far away do I drop off for that? But that's why the manager will say, no, that's the manager's job to tell them. But it was the cats are going mad. That's what it was a difficult one. I thought how to handle that.
Or even Tav just to put an arm round and say, listen, calm it down a wee bit. The other strikers and all, they should maybe just be like, calm it down a wee bit. It'll come. Don't force it. You know yourself, same way, obviously, Mine Dessers and that, and we were urging him on, and then when he eventually calmed down, then he started hitting the net, so...
I know, that's a point, But and he's just eager to prove himself, because he'll know he's come from the German, whatever division it was, the second division, so he knows the pressure's on. But he's handling and what was I going to say? There was one in my head there, it's totally gone. Romans. Oh, Romans, man. He just gets better and better and better, doesn't he, man?
Give him the band next season, 100%.
Aye.
See for the first goal, see that touch he took? The boys obviously came high, and the touch he took, he can control it and then cut it back to Mikey Moore.
To keep it in, aye.
I know. We've got We've got a player and a half there, and like you say, because some people put up my energy consumers going on and flipping the cables through there. People mention Barron being the captain. He's not a leader, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. He's not a leader.
Maybe in a couple of seasons, once he's had a few seasons under his belt or whatever, then maybe. But no,
I think you see it. I think you see it quite quickly though, and it's the big Fernandez at the back, he could potentially be a captain, Alan.
Yeah.
Aye, definitely. You see him, constantly talking to the other players, telling them where to go, where pass there. He is, and him and Giga are rock solid. That partnership is brilliant. I think Fernandez has still got a wee mistake in him now and again, but
concentration for him.
I think
it's get rid. You know.
But I said before, it's the risk that you play with this modern style of football. Sometimes there will be straight passes. You can't have 100% pass rate all the time.
But the thing, it's not just. On you go, Alan. Sorry.
I was just going to say, quite more often than not, with a team like Rangers, when you give the ball away in that sort of area, it leads to goals. It's the same. It's the same with all the top teams, really.
Yeah.
Aye. And the other thing is, we need to remember the players. They're playing for Rangers, and we all love the Rangers. But these aren't world-class football players that we've got. So there is going to be mistakes made.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the thing. You know, I mean, and look at it. Did you watch the Newcastle Sunderland game? For the Newcastle goal, the keeper gave it to the centre half, and the centre half just passed it straight to the Newcastle player, and that's a Premiership team. You know, as players make mistakes. But Deja, like Andrews here, I don't know if any of you on Andrews' personal Facebook, he's a chef. You should see the food he knocks out, man. The photos I've seen, man, absolutely outstanding. But I would try and sign Deja. Or Deja, I can't never say his name. I'd try and sign him.
You know what? Start of the season, I would have been chasing him in January, but now 100% I would. He's definitely came on. What a bit of confidence can do for a player. And you know, this is probably the first time since Gerrard, I would say, that we have a team fully well, not a full team, but there's more than one captain in that team.
Aye. The problem with him, though, is probably his wages, because he'll be in Premiership wages, and Rangers won't be playing the full whack. We're probably paying a certain percentage of it. Listen, I'm just going to get my charger. Keep talking. No, I've got the headphones on.
I saw a thing before saying that Rangers could get him for 8 million, but I don't know. I think Wolves were kind of touting him at one point as a kind of 30 million player. So I don't know if you would get him as low as that. And I thought, see if they're obviously going to go down to the Championship. So I thought he's the kind of player that you would keep in your squad.
They might want them if they go down.
Your higher earners are either going to go on loan or they're going to be sold. So you tend to find that the fringe players do kind of play in the Championship. I feel like.
Totally.
I want to know what's going on with Cornelius, by the way. I'm just a bit.
That is a weird one. It's definitely a kind of what as you say, Stacey, it's like there's something not right there. It just doesn't sit right, because Danny's reply when he was asked about him was about, oh, wait a minute. You know, and there's rumours flying about
a ding dong. But
possibly
if Danny isn't happy with the fact that he's said, apparently he's turned around and said that he's going to play for his country whether he's fully fit or no, and Danny wasn't happy about it because obviously he's just back for injury. Which is fair enough, but I see the player's point. You can't, if he wants to go play for his country, you can't stop him. But at the same time, he's just back for injury, so
But when you sign an international player from the States or Europe, you know they're going to go out, because there's a lot of passion there for these guys to play for their country. There is our guys as well. You know, you can't. I don't think you can complain. It's when you see players. Teams down south can play when the African Cup of Nations is on. You're like, well, you know that's going to go that, and these guys are proud to play for their nation.
Yeah. No, 100%.
I think it's maybe because Rangers obviously put him through all his rehab, and obviously there's been a lot of work that's been on to get him fit again.
Yeah.
And then you don't know what's been said, obviously, because Danny was very cagey, but reading between the lines, I thought maybe. As Danny said, that I want you to be available for the game against Aberdeen, and then he's turned around and said, "No, I want to go early to Canada."
That's right.
Who knows?
I forgot about that. I know, who knows? But there was something. And the thing is, if he's a lone player, there's been a bit of an issue here. We're not as much as I thought we'd keep. I don't think he'll be here next season now. You know, because Danny might say, right, the first bit, there's a bit of disruption this early on, right? No bother, off you go. You know what I mean? We don't need you. Or maybe they'll repair it.
he went to play for Canada in the last international break when he'd picked up that knock, and that's what caused the injury. So I can see Danny's point from that.
Mhm.
Right, the last time you went away, you got injured because you had a knock. He's obviously not 100% yet.
Aye.
So I get where we're coming from.
Aye, that's a fair point, actually.
So
I know.
To me, it's kind of changed my mind a bit on a wee bit, like yourself.
I'm like, oh.
That attitude thing, like, I know international and club is a proud thing, but your club team comes first.
Aye.
And if that doesn't come first to you, then away you go. We don't need you.
I know. And something just came to me as well, though. You've got, looking from his point of view, the fact that Canada are in the World Cup, he doesn't want to lose his slot as well. There is that, I forgot, that's just come into my head now. That you've got to, I mean, we've got to try and be diplomatic. So, Alan, there's that as well. The World Cup's coming up. It's probably the only time he'll get to the World Cup because Canada are going to qualify for a World Cup, I would imagine, after this for a while. So, you've got to kind of go, well, fair enough, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is like the kind of golden generation of Canadian football, isn't it? They've got a lot of players. They've got a lot of players playing in Europe at the moment. So it's been probably the best Canada team ever. So
all right, I didn't know
that. I think there is probably a bit of competition. So he's probably not
okay.
Even though he's obviously, even though it's friendly, he's probably going, well, I still need to be there to be seen to have a shot at playing.
Aye, and there's a boy plays for Ray Young FC here. There's two Canadians play for him. They don't. I mean, no, one of them does play. Again, he lives around. No, he lives down the beach. He comes into the bar we drink in now and again. He's kind of quite quiet lad, but they are quite proud. But look, the World Cup angle, I forgot about that. Have we got about 14 players out in international duty at one level or another, under 14s? Well, you know what I mean, the youths and beyond that. I read that today somewhere.
No, probably. Obviously that boy Kyle Glasgow, I don't know who he played for Portugal, but then Scotland called him up as well, so I don't know who he's going to be playing for. There was a young boy, obviously my era's team's Dumbarton, so I was reading an article this morning, and there's a young boy on loan to Dumbarton, and I think he's played for Scotland under 19s, and he said that he trained with Danny Rowe, let him train with the first team a few times before he went out on loan.
Right.
So I can't remember the guy's name. I'd need to check on it, but it's saying he's a kind of prospect anyway. But so who knows?
I'm glad we got the boy. We signed the boy Glasgow, and that was good to see. And you do understand when the Chelsea's and all that came in for players, they're millionaires overnight, and their families get their mortgages paid and all that kind of stuff. So, what photo? What photo, mate? I don't know what photo you're on about, but there was. I'm glad that you said that we Mikey Moore's not away with England. That's good. I mean, because I think he'll be an England top team.
Oh, he'll be
soon enough.
Do you know what I was actually thinking last night?
Did you fall over?
Aye, in my wee brain. If we were to sign Mikey, right, I know it's going to be a wages thing more than a fee thing. But the thing for the player he could be looking at, right, is obviously if we win the league, we're in the Champions League, right? So that's another market you're opening up yourself up to right away.
I know. But the thing is, I mean, the other thing is that there's a financial fair play. He's allegedly in 70,000 quid now. I mean, he's first playing most of it. You know what I mean? That's what you've got to remember. And what happens when players say, well, if he's getting 70,000 quid, why am I not getting more? You know what I mean? That could upset the equilibrium in the dressing room. There is that problem.
You'd like to think that if we then made the Champions League, you're going to, I know that obviously the UEFA have their own match day sponsorship, but as a club, you'd think that we'd be able to attract bigger companies to sponsor us, the fact that we're playing in the Champions League. Instead of, say, I don't know, McDonald's, you could have like Burger King, or kind of, you think it would generate more revenue, obviously just being there, but you think I thought you'd maybe attract better sponsors as well. The higher.
You need the fear playing in the Champions League.
But the problem we had, Alan, though, all the sponsorship contracts that were in place before this, Calvin, etc., came in. So there's not a lot you could do about that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Ibrox will be renamed, and I've got no issue with that at all. Because us three sitting here and everyone in the comments will still call it, let's go to Ibrox. It's only the TV, they'll have to call it the Red Bull Ibrox Stadium or whatever. And if somebody's going to give us millions of pounds a year, I've got no issues with it at all. And let's say the owners will be, Americans are good at advert, they're of marketing, people out there getting better sponsors or better shirt sponsors. I'd rather get rid of the betting guy stuff off the shirt, but just as I don't know, saying that the sponsor I've got to the page is a betting thing, but anyway, when it kicks in, whenever they do their thing, but and let's say Ibrox, so in 10 years' time we'll not recognise Ibrox. I'm not talking about the front door, but the other three stands, I would imagine they'll be gone, I think, and they'll rebuild it.
I can see us going to Hampden for a season or two.
And definitely
getting the stadium sorted, because it's not fit for purpose in terms of the numbers in our fan base, and it is loss of revenue there for the club, and that's probably one thing Cameron has looked at. He's probably looked at how many people, thousands, are on the season ticket waiting list and thought, hold on, you've got to stay, I don't know, I'm just flinging a number of 15,000 on your season ticket list. That's 15,000 punters we could be getting season ticket money off. Gate money for whatever, burgers.
I think there's only see the existing, like, obviously you've got the main stand, which has got a lot of kind of offices and stuff in it. But then you look at the other stands, and then the concourses. There's no a lot you can do in terms of expanding them. So I think the Americans love their hospitality boxes. So you think I would imagine they'll be looking to change these stands so that there is more room for hospitality, and because that's your big revenue maker now. Is obviously Liverpool, Tottenham, all these big English clubs, they've got loads and loads of space in their stadiums for hospitality. And then I think at the moment, when you go to the stands down the stairs, it's just you get the toilets and the kiosks and that, and there's no really much space to do anything else.
No, and they'll be wanting a shop in each stand as well. We can buy a shirt, not a full whack-on shop, but shirts, t-shirts. You know what I mean?
Pop-up ones,
aye. And but what people forget, like, you've got the main stand, you've got Edmondson Drive. The other three stands are up. They're built on top of the old Tennyson. We can go down. We can dig that down. You know what I mean? There's a lot of space around Ibrox to mess with. It might even come to they might knock down Edmondson House again and restart. That's a possibility, because that went in before the new owners came in, and it's
right out. I mean, you look at the ground at the side of the governance stand as well, right down there. Take that car park back further and onto the front, like at the side. So
I mean, it's a big job, like. They'll do it, and listen, and I've said loads on here. They when I looked at the stadium before anything else, about wait a minute, we can do something here, and they'll try and get concerts in. They might get American football, the NFL in. If we're in with the San Francisco 49ers, there you go right away, and that'll sell out right away, because see the games in England, and I think White Hart Lane does it, or whatever it's called, Spurs Stadium. They sell out, but it's not just people from the UK; it's from Germany, Portugal, Spain, and all that, because the NFL is big.
And it's getting a lot of traction in the UK now as well. So why not? Like, we've got the owners there to do it. I mean, I went to see Bon Jovi in Ibrox, and I thought it was brilliant then. And that was in 2003. So it's definitely got the.
I saw a guy.
Don't do other stuff.
I saw a guy go live from the 49ers stadium. Was it Levi Stadium, they call it?
That's right, the sponsor.
And it showed you it's all kind of open plan. So you're 1 minute you're in the concourse, then next minute you're in the seating area, and there's it's just a big for miles. You've got all these food stands like tacos, pizzas, burgers, Chinese. It's like Cajun food. It's like just loads and loads of different options. and they're walking about with their beers and that as well.
But Maggie, you're saying how can't they do that? I don't understand that. Why not? Because the stadium's been changed loads over the history of the stadium. Remember, no, they'll be able to do that. We own it. They can't touch the main stand. The fact, how do you say that? Facade, you know, the brick the main stand. They can't touch that. It's a listed Wilding.
Was there no something about years ago that we couldn't go any further down because something to do with the flooding in the Clyde?
That's right. That because my answer is we put a man in the moon in 1969 with and your phones get more computer power than that. We can sort that out. I know. I don't believe that.
These days, you'll probably that wouldn't be a thing now to get that. Is it an architect?
It might be expensive and all that, but it might be expensive and all that, but it can be done. But because they're adding 7,000, we're adding 4,000 because they're doing putting the extras on the governing Broomlin, right?
I think it was 4,000, or was it 7,000?
It's 4,000.
Right, they spoke about lowering the stands. If you lowered the stands, that would add in another 4,000.
Right, okay. But there's lots. I mean, we could the three call them the new stands. Have got Govan, Bromley, and Cotton. That you can make that a bowl, you know, with a big roof over it and all that. You know, it's in this day and age. They've told it. They've told us they've put it out there for architects to come up with stuff. You know,
I think we should get a roof on because then you're
brilliant, wouldn't it?
You're taking away the whole weather element it hangs as well. Then, do you know what I mean?
I'd love a roof on Ibrox. Can you imagine? But you think about it, the Americans, they'll have that big jumbotron TV, you know, like the ones that go all the way around. Absolutely brilliant, man.
Get a Mexican wave going.
I remember, I don't know if you are old enough. I remember after Mexico 86, the World Cup 86, they did it at Ibrox. They were doing a Mexican wave at Ibrox, but it didn't last long.
No, it'd be good to get, as you say, bigger. Medium, like get a roof on it, and as I say, the element hangs away. You don't need to worry about the pictures in. And plus, if you're doing concerts and stuff, you've got the option there to open the roof, shut the roof.
Get boxing. The Clyde's not an issue. I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that for a second. We can put drainage in or some stuff like that. I'm not buying into that.
Like, there's got to be things you can do.
No, it's bollocks, man. I'm sure. I don't mean that. I'm not going to go to John for that. I don't believe that can. But a roof would be brilliant, like because that means you can have concerts all year and all. You know, because you don't have the threat of getting peed on. And imagine the atmosphere when we're playing that lot. Christ.
Their
meltdown's been good this week, innit?
I like the things they've got now. See the things with the fire that shoots out. I think that's pretty cool that they've got them now.
I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that American stuff, to be honest with you. Look, they're talking about in half-time shows and all that in the World Cup and stuff like that. You're like, get that, Tiff. I hate them shaking hands before they start the game. You know, just get out there and get on with it. You know, but I know that's what it is.
But it's entertaining the crowd, innit? If you think about it that way, because you know yourself at half-time, there isn't anything you go for your pee or your pie or whatever, or you're sitting on your phone. If there was something
but it's
like
only
that,
15 minutes. But they're going to extend half-time to half an hour. That's not. No, you can't. I'm talking about putting a band on the pitch and all that. Like
the actual Super Bowl halftime.
Aye, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about beat the goalie and all that. I'm talking about So Alan, right? The meltdown's been pretty good. I don't like you going about them too much, but the meltdown across the road's pretty good. What's it with one of their players? Been sent back because he hurt himself swinging off a rafters in a nightclub or something.
Arulo, the Mexican guy.
Right.
Apparently he was. Well, I read something about. Was it the night after they put us at the Scottish Cup? A few of them went out celebrating, and obviously that Arulo was meant to have been swinging for a pole or something like that, and then fell off it and injured himself. But that's the story that I read. But obviously, who knows?
There's a video on TikTok that's you can't really. I don't think you see his face, but you can tell it's him, and he's like, it's like he's swinging for the rafters. So I don't know if there's something you can hang on to or something. and he's fell off it backwards and obviously done his back or whatever it is.
Yeah, good on him. But the entitlement, because if it doesn't matter if we win it, well, that was going to come out wrong. They're not going to win the league. It's going to be us or Hearts, and whichever one wins it, the meltdown that's going to cause it. The problem is, if the guy sells up, they'll get a guy. They'll get some. We've got to be careful what you wish for, because they'll probably get. They will. There's no doubt about it, they'll get a big owner come in.
I can understand why. In a way, I can understand why they're so angry at their board now, because they sold a lot of really good players and never replaced them. And so, and previously, they would have signed players who would that kind of trading model. That trading model they had, they signed a player for say 4 million, so sold them for 15 million, and that was going quite well for a few years, and now it's kind of all dried up, and they're no. So I can understand the way why they're angry, but
good. Take your medicine.
To the outside looking in, though, it looks like obviously they've won just about everything for the last 20 years. Now all of a sudden they're not winning, and they're going about.
Brilliant, isn't it, man?
So,
I'm just thinking, because I was talking to the Celtic fans in work about it, and what they're saying is it looks like they're trying to make the books look balanced and everything hunky dory. So they think that there is potential for a sell up and somebody coming in. But do you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if it was another American. Just what's happening in Scottish football now.
I know.
It'll be a good thing. I mean, if you think about it, for Scottish football,
I don't know.
Because the league's a joke, let's face it.
Aye.
If we get some proper investment in for all the clubs.
I know.
Do you think...
On you, Alan?
I was going to say, obviously, we've got the American owners. I'm sure there is an American guy in Celtic already, but he's like a kind of minority shareholder compared to Desmond.
Okay.
And then you've got the guy that's obviously bought into Hearts, that Tony Bloom. I'm sure there's Americans in Hibs as well. So it is
Aberdeen and all. Aberdeen and all.
Aye.
Aberdeen as well. I mean, you wonder, do they know something we don't know? That's the thing. That's what it's always going through my head.
I'm starting to think as well, because it's starting to look like there's something. Because I'm sure, is there no American investment in Livingston recently? I know, or one of the lower teams. So it could be. Obviously, I don't want them to start strengthening and all that again, because this is hilarious. But at the same time, if it's reventing the league, and the fact that Kavanagh keeps saying about how he wants to invest in youth football and stuff.
I know, that's good, man.
It's all starting to
add up. Happening.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's all starting to.
There was a Canadian guy that bought Dumbarton.
Was it?
Aye. Mario Lapointe or something he's called. He's Canadian. I don't think you'd ever heard of Dumbarton, but there is a bit of contention where Dumbarton Stadium's situated, right next to the castle. There's always been a bit of contention about what they could do with that land because of where it is. Because there's been talk about for years and years of Dumbarton moving to a different stadium. Yeah. And they would knock that down and build houses because it's right next to the castle.
So
it's right next to the Clydeland and that. And
where
it is, you can't really extend on it where it is. There's no room to expand it.
Right. Was that where Boghead was as well? Aye.
No, the Boghead was.
It was somewhere else because that was my first away game.
Boghead was just after 82, wasn't it? Was it round Brighton Road? It was just off of that.
It's all houses there now.
It was like behind them, but behind the old Dumbarton Academy.
Right, okay. So Hearts, do you think Hearts are a flash in the pan, or could they be? I don't
know. This guy,
it's hard to tell, isn't it?
Hitting money into them, so I wouldn't like to think they are, because it's made it more interesting this year.
Definitely. It has big time.
And the fact that it's not a 2-horse race, it's a 3 or 4-horse race this time. Well, not so much now, but it was for a while.
Aye.
And the fact that we're getting spoke about in other countries as well now.
Aye. Here, it's been on the telly here, man. Not terrestrial TV, not just the.
Folk have been talking about it in Australia as well. My pal messaged me the other day saying that she had her Celtic top on in the shops and the folk were asking her what she thought of.
Aye, I know. I think a lot of it to do with Hearts is if they can keep a hold of McInnes. Like I think, like we've said before, he's ideal for Scotland. You know, take over from that. Let's be honest, that clown, we just don't like him, but he's done all right for Scotland. But then again, to qualify for the World Cup, it was harder not to qualify, to be honest with you. But
I don't like Steve Clarke either, as a person.
But the thing is with Scotland, right, to go into Scotland for a wee bit, the first game's Haiti, and see if they win that and get a draw, that they'll probably qualify. And I hope we do get through to the playoff rounds. It'll be brilliant for the country.
See if we can just get through the first round and actually say, right, we managed to get through a round, and then fair enough, see what happens. Maybe get a wee glamour tie. Probably get absolutely humiliated, but
I know. Get England in the next round and put them out. That would be unbelievable, wouldn't it, man?
I think without being disrespectful to Haiti, you would want Scotland to go out there and put a good few goals past them, because there's what I think it's the so many of the third place teams go through as well. I think it's like the 8 best third place teams go through. So you would want your goal difference to be, because you'll probably see some teams go through with 3 points. So you would want your goal difference to be good if you were going to be one of the third place teams. Because Morocco look a really good team, and Brazil are just Brazil, aren't they? So they're always good.
I don't think that a Brazil like the past, but they're still Brazil, because they're not because the thing is, any time the World Cup comes around, you just think of Brazil because they've qualified for every single one. And I was brought up, my old man always talks about that Brazil 1970 team, and but I'm looking forward to the World Cup. Like,
I think it's going to be good, and the fact that they're saying that the first Monday after the game is going to be a bank holiday in Scotland. Is a good thing. I hope most employers actually
play the game.
Yeah.
I think the games are between 6 in the morning and 9 in the morning here, so we'll see what happens. But it's I was just thinking, what was it? I was something in my head and I forgot already. But the summer, I mean, what positions? What's it? What if you were to pick one position we must get a good player in? What would it be?
Right back.
I want a Boydie. I want a Boydie.
I've got a Boyd. I've got one of them fart things. I use it as a stress ball.
See, I don't know how a guy like Boyd would do in modern football though, because you don't see balls getting in the box anymore.
I just want somebody that's banging 30 goals a season. That's what I want.
Aye, but that's what I was going to talk about. I can see 3 or 4 players coming in the summer, all over 10 million quid.
3? I would think maybe 1 or 4. I think we're going to get a marquee signing. I said this in January and it didn't really happen, but I suppose we could say with the
Robbins. And so it's same with Scott Olsen. That's a big name. He just I read Rebecca. All good. Her career, man's flying in it, man. Singing all over the world. Australia, not over to the States. Make sure you've got your work permit for the States. By the way, they'll pull you at the airport. But aye.
To see the video of Rebecca and the Erskine charity do, and the whole place is singing Ibrox-Omnia. That was absolutely amazing.
That was
amazing. I know, that's the best song. Right, here's one for you. Right, this is going to cause arguments. I'd get rid of Simply the Best. It's done. You know, I mean, it's a bit cringe now for me at times. You know, although when they played it against Celtic, we got the full version, and whoever decided that we knew exactly what we were doing, because it was a full pop the IRA, wasn't it? It was always follow, but is Ibrox-Omnia is not really it's not really a walkout song, though, is it?
I'd bring back Penny Arcade for walking it.
I didn't like it, me, but I know lots did though.
If that or trying I think what else he could have.
Aye.
Well, you've got me thinking.
I know.
But simply the best. I think it needs retired until we start winning successfully again.
I just get rid of it full stop. For me, is I don't know. What's people in the comments think? Am I talking crap here? Alan, what about you? What would you? Are you a fan of Simply the Best?
I like it. I'll say I could do up with it. It's always a song that keep you come out to. I don't know what you would replace it with, to be honest.
I know.
I would keep it until we can think of something better.
Well, I would if I was to choose it, would follow for me, because that's what we were saying before. But we can. But we're not. That's the thing, John. We're not going to. I know what you mean. But nah, Moore. We're not going to get Moore. We're not going to buy Moore. I don't think at all. We're not going to. We might get him on loan one more season, but the fact is, Spurs might get I don't think they'll get relegated, but if they do, they'll want him definitely back. You know, but the Spurs fans want him back. Hang on. Cheers. Hang on, I'll get it to you.
I seen on a few of their things on Twitter that they're calling out for him back.
It's 60,000. Aye. No, I know they do want him back, but we'll see. I mean, the lad likes it here. There's absolutely no doubt about it. But we'll see. But again, it's the wages. But we need a right back as well. The one thing about the players that are coming in, the most important thing I think Daniel will have said to the coaches, not the coaches, the scouts, they need to be strong characters. They need to be leaders or be able to wear the shirt, you know, because it is a heavy shirt.
Controversial, new goalkeeper.
I would be devastated with a new goalkeeper, but at the same time, I'm all right with Jack.
Reason being, the thing is, I love Jack, but he's great at penalties and that, but just see the amount of times his distribution, you're like, oh God, it's going to cost us.
I know, it's awful, isn't it? It is. And that's the thing about him, Alan. But again, we've talked about this before. That's the level of goalkeeper we're going to have, because goalkeepers that are good stoppers, are good with their feet, are at clubs, the top 6 clubs in the big nations. That's the thing. And they're 50 million, 60 million quid. But I see we gave Kelly a new contract as well, but somebody said that might be to do with the Scottish thing for Europe as well.
Aye, probably. You've seen, I mean, obviously Liverpool only having the greatest of seasons. You've seen that Alisson making mistakes recently, so all keepers have got mistakes in them. It's no, and I think it is this modern way of playing football where the keepers are expected to be good with their feet, and they're not all the money good with their feet, and they make mistakes.
Am I not right to say there was a son? Who was that keeper that was the best stopper in England? He was better than what's his name at Everton, but he was just crap with his feet. I think he was at Sunderland for a while. I think he was at Burnley. I think he was Burnley's keeper. Remember, he was outstanding, but he was just rubbish with his feet. And he should have been England's number 1, but it was just his distribution. What was his name again? The thing is, Maggie, Butland's distribution. Butland's too old. He's too far down the road for that, I think. You know what I mean? He's just not a good football player. As in football. That's the thing.
Get McGregor back in to show him how to do it.
He was crap at distribution and all. With his feet. Dean Henderson, was it Dean Henderson? Does that make sense, Alan? Do you remember?
I know the name, I know the name.
Was there no one of the keepers down south that was crap at distribution, used to get the centre backs to actually kick it up the park instead of doing it yourself?
I think there's been a few like that over the years.
Letting Tav or somebody hit it up the park.
Gorham used to do that though, but that was because he dodgy knees, wasn't it? He couldn't make it as far. Gorham, man. Some of the stories I had with nights out with him, man, in Hong Kong, there was anyway. That's not for on here. Not that it was anything dodgy, but he's not here anymore.
Sure.
So, just give me 1 second. Hurry up.
I remember I saw him. See the wee lane at Queen Street, and there's a wee Ladbrokes there. I seen Andy Gorham there, but I'm always kind of a bit starstruck when I see these guys. I'm like, especially when I was younger, I'm like, oh no, I seen him, but I kind of looked at him and then I kind of looked away.
Goalie was alright, man. I can't agree with this. We need players out. Sell Dio, Gassman, and Antman. send Aaron Deja back. Deja, I'll keep Deja for the chance. Aaron's yep. Diomande, Gassama, no, I'll keep Gassama. He'll come good. Ant-Man, we've got to see him yet, but no. Nick Pope, that's it. It was Nick Pope. That was it. That was who the goalkeeper was. Well done.
Nah, he's a Newcastle goalie now. Well, I think he's injured, but in that it's Ramsdale is in goals for Newcastle.
Right, Gattuso wants to be the manager one day. Probably good luck to him. I don't know if can you see Gattuso being a good Rangers manager though? He's the Italian manager, there, isn't he?
But it depends if he's calmed down or not, because I didn't really fancy our players getting knocked out after every game, to be fair.
But the thing is, he'll have to do. He's in the modern game now, so he'll know he can't be like that in the dressing room. But because I say, it's Tony Pulis and Mick McCarthy. They're on the telly, that thing called The Managers, and they were talking. It was brilliant. They were talking. What's the cycling goalkeeper's name again? He's brilliant on his podcast. Fantastic. What was his name? The goalkeeper. He does a podcast. He was at Birmingham and Man U. What's his name? Anyway, but they were old school. Like they were talking about how. What was the goalkeeper's name? How he was a cruciate, and a cruciate's 3 months, but Tony Pierce comes and says, it's on your head, come back after 2 months. You know, things, you can't do that. Ben Foster, was it? Ben Foster, that's it. You can't do that. But Alan, before you come on, I was saying, I remember, because football, I don't know about you, I don't watch much outside Rangers because it's crap. It's not crap, it's just, it's the tippy-tappy stuff. Nobody tackles. You've got nobody running up and down the wings, nutmegging players, Ryan Giggs type players. And I remember years ago, Sam Allardyce was on, and he was saying how Pep's football was trendy and it'll fall out of favour. It's boring. And I told Sam Allardyce, you're just a dinosaur. He was right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to see long balls now. You know, I mean, people say that's boring. It wasn't.
I like it with the long throws have started to come back as well. How often do you see balls getting put into the box space? It's just open play. It's always for set pieces or corners most of the time now, because they get to the kind of corner of the box, and then instead of putting the ball in, they just pass it back the way, and it just recycles out. And
I just get to the byline
again.
Aye, so that was Stacey. On you go, Stacey.
That's what I'm agreeing with you. Just get to the byline, put the ball in, and stop pissing about.
I know.
We've got two strikers.
Let's bring back proper tackling, because like this. I'm good. A PC.
I was thinking we've got two strikers that are well over 6 foot. But when do you ever see the ball getting launched in the box for them?
That's
Very
rarely.
rarely.
Especially when you've got a striker like Miovski. Like
I know.
He showed when he came off the bench the other day. Gave him the ball in the box. What happened?
Here's a question for you. Right, I was thinking this today. When the team, if we get a free kick, they're all direct free kicks now. Free kick 25 yards out against us. Don't put a wall up. I've always thought that, because the goalkeeper can see it all the way.
See the
but then again, they've probably tried it though, and the thing is, that one time that somebody steps up and busts the net, where you're like, you're fucking.
They'll be coming after you. No, it's when you get the players like lying on the ground behind. They're like, you're going, you know, they're going to knock it out of the wall. So what are you doing lying the ground? Get up.
I know. Just I've always thought, don't put a wall up, because these goalkeepers should be able, if they can see the ball all the way, you know. It's but then the team. Listen, I'm sure they've all tried that during thingy. But that's the thing. Our free kicks and our corners have not been as effective recently.
I know that. I was actually thinking the last game.
Aye.
But what game is it? No, it was the game before we had like 13 corners or something, and I'm just like,
I know it's going back to the old school. Back to before you were checking your book where your coupon was when they got a free kick in a corner. Talking about long throws, Jamie Carragher says he doesn't like them, and people are moaning about maybe Arsenal score a lot of goals from corners. So what? You know what I mean? That's my reply. That's so what? We'll fucking defend better against them.
Sure, 9 in a row. We get a lot of goals for like that. David Robertson's long throws. Remember the one League Cup final when McCoy scored the overhead kick, and that was a long throw for David Robertson. That Robertson was a master of the long throws.
That's right. Aye, that was it. And the thing is, was that not the last game at Parkhead as well? And we were all, and Rangers fans were in the jungle singing the Sash in the Jungle. It was. I think that's right. I think that.
I'm sure we played Hibs.
I was still in the Navy.
We played it. Aye. And I think it went to extra time. And McCoy's could just come back for his broken leg.
Aye.
And he's come on in extra time and obviously scored the winner with overhead kick.
Because he get the broken leg you get for Scotland, didn't he?
Aye, against Portugal.
Aye, it was a bad one, like
5-0 or something.
Aye, I know, aye. But right, listen, that's 11 o'clock here, and I'm tired and I'm old, and that's an hour. All right.
Yeah, I should get back.
Thank you, pair of bellends, for coming on and chatting away. And did you see the abuse Stacey gives me in the WhatsApp group we've got?
Well, stop being soppy then.
Right, I know. Right, but thanks, Alan. Thanks, Stacey. And thanks for everyone in the comments. Right, that's it. I'll see you later, right?
See you after.
Bye.